So I started with the ACE program probably about 8 years ago or so, and I heard about it, and I speak anyway. I speak at conferences, and I thought, why not join the ACE program? It seemed like I had some additional benefits in terms of things that I could, as long as I was at a conference, and get some recognition for some of the things that I do. And it seemed like a good group of people. Then I met some of them, and they were very easygoing. It's really nice to be part of a program of like-minded professionals that kind of make a living doing this type of stuff. And so I really enjoyed being part of the ACE program, and so I decided to stick on. I started as an ACE Pro, and then after a year or two, a few years, I decided to apply to be an ACE Director, found an Oracle product manager sponsor that I'd been working with, applied, and became an ACE Director, and really am proud of that credential. One of the things when I am talking to other professionals and I mention I'm part of the ACE program, I kind of use that a lot of people don't know about the ACE program, and so I explain that it's a way that Oracle recognizes some of the top talent in the industry. There are a lot of Oracle database professionals. There are people that are applications specialists, people that are more middleware, working with OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, that type of thing. And so there's people from all sorts of different Oracle technologies, Java people, all sorts of things that are part of the ACE program. And I mentioned that I'm one of somewhere around 100, probably will grow, ACE program, ACE directors in the program. So as an Oracle ACE Director, I end up being invited to various Oracle product briefings that are special for people that are Oracle ACE Directors. I think Oracle really wants the Oracle ACE Directors to know background on many of the products. And so they kind of invite us to be part of that community to learn about those various products. And as I feel like I'm part of a more select community that is able to receive briefings on the latest of the technology, whether they be the technologies that I'm specifically involved in or other, let's say, related technologies where I need that type of background so I can effectively consult with some of my customers. And then when there's a Q&A time, you're not competing with 1,000 people to be able to ask your question. You're in amongst a select group of people that have access to Oracle product managers at a level where they understand that you have at least the background knowledge, and they don't ask, well, is the power connected? Do you need to reboot it? The basic questions. They know that at least you have some basic understanding and a little bit of credential in the industry. So there's kind of a synergy between the Oracle ACE program and the user groups. The user groups, when we are reviewing conference abstracts, one of the things we look at, we actually have as part of the Analytics and Data Oracle user community, ANDOUC, that I help run. When we're evaluating submissions, one of the things we look at, and it's actually a question on the submission form, is whether you're an ACE and what level of ACE you are. And we know that the people that I meet when I'm at various conferences that are in the ACE program generally are the more professional presenters. They know how to carry themselves, they project, they know how to speak, and they're technically competent. And as a result, when we see a submission that is from an Oracle ACE, we know that they're in the speaking circuit, and we know that we're going to get a certain level of professionalism from them. So that carries some weight when we are reviewing abstracts and trying to consider who is going to present at our conference. We'll end up getting together with those people. Sometimes Oracle will host events for the ACEs at specific conferences, and there's kind of a community that develops in terms of people getting to know each other. You see these people year after year, conference after conference, develop some friendships. Some of those turn into professional relationships. We've contracted with other people that are Oracle ACEs, and we know when they're Oracle ACEs and they recommend somebody else. That carries some weight. So one of the things that I enjoy about the ACE program is the community aspect of that. We see these people, we travel together often at times, and we see each other there's kind of this recognition when you're at one of the ACE dinners or when you're at one of the other events where ACEs get together, and you kind of get to know some of these people, and that spills over into a professional network that you feel you're part of. Indeed, there's a forum, there's a Slack workspace where you can post questions, and when you receive answers, they're kind of just not from anybody. They're other like-minded individuals that have worked on their craft, worked on their program. And then that develops kind of this community aspect when you're there together at conferences or traveling together. There are several opportunities to go on tour together and get to know each other, and then extra events that you go to where you get to know some of these other people, interact with them, maybe be on a bus together for a while, travel together. And sometimes, you see these people even when you're at a conference and you're down the hotel lobby and you stop by the bar, you see these people and those people that you've seen before at events and are able to interact with them. And so there's this community feel where you feel like you're not just this speaker that's at a conference, and you can go up to somebody and say, hey, what did you think about that latest briefing that we just heard from Oracle? Do you agree with what they're doing? Are you excited about some of the new content? And it's a little bit of also, what have you heard is some of the latest news that Oracle is coming out with? Those types of things. So there's kind of a natural conversation starter that happens because you're part of this Oracle ACE community. So when I started presenting at conferences, I was actually invited to speak at, this is back in I think 88 or so. I presented on this what really we would now call an API, application programming interface, for something called the Dialog Manager. And this was really kind of before client-server stuff, where the mainframe talked to the PC, and you had to ask the mainframe would ask the PC, did you get that? And it was talking back and forth between them. When I first gave that presentation long ago, kind of early in my professional career, I kind of went to the conference. I was all alone. I didn't know anybody or anything like that, and would have welcomed an opportunity to be part of a speaking network of people. And I just got up and talked about stuff. I knew my topic. I knew my topic relatively well. And the big thing was just being able to present that to an audience. And when I gave the presentation, people came up to me afterwards and said, yeah, that was really helpful. And they understood what I was talking about, and I got to go to the conference for free. The food was actually pretty good. And I had found that I really enjoyed presenting stuff to people and having a sense of I had communicated to others and helped them out. And then as I continued doing presentations at conferences, it was originally a way to market my services and to be able to get to the conference for free. And there was also an opportunity, people would sometimes say, well, why don't you have a booth or a table at the conference? And I found the best way to really showcase my skills was to present. When you present, you're showcasing that you really are, if not an expert, at least you know something about this topic. And to be able to showcase that is the best way, I think, to actually market your skills, in my case as a consultant in this area of technology. And so that's one of the reasons I especially present, is it is the best way to attend the conferences, have a reason to be there, and have people come up after you afterwards, after the presentation, and ask questions, and then that immediately establishes some connections that really expands your professional network, whether it be as a consultant or as a professional in the industry, and get to know other people. And that can lead to all sorts of things. So I really believe in the concept of presenting at conferences. So I like being part of an ACE program. I look forward to the monthly conference calls where, we join the conference calls often, 15 minutes early, something like that. And that turns out to be kind of a way that a free-form time when you can chat back and forth, on the Zoom call to ask people how they're doing, that type of thing. When you're getting together at a conference, often there's just stupid stuff that maybe is not important, but it's part of a community, as being things like doing chocolate tasting. People bring chocolate from all over the world. And if you want to, because the ACE community is from all over the world, and people share that, and it strikes up a way of having a conversation and be able to be part of this community aspect. So I really enjoy being part of that community and being able to share with others, recognize them as we get to know each other when you are in the elevator waiting to go up to the level where the conference is, or you meet people for breakfast. That type of thing is really helpful. So when I started out as part of, I was known as the OLAP guy. I started with working with this product called Express, and that became Oracle OLAP. And I was especially known as the OLAP guy because that's the technology I kind of was raised on in my computing profession. And one of the challenges I had was there was another product that came out ultimately called Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition, or OBIEE. And making the jump from Oracle OLAP to a related technology called OBIEE was kind of challenging. And the way I established that credibility and be able to make that change, because it took multiple years to be able to be recognized as an expert in that technology. There are two major things. One is I ended up submitting proposals to speak at conferences on that topic, on OBIEE. And originally, the presentations were not accepted. And as I established a little more, and maybe some of it is luck even, as you present and submit presentations to the conference, eventually I was picked up, and all of a sudden I had a presentation to give. But it was on a client project I was working on anyway, and I was able to give a presentation on tips and tricks on OBIEE and how to do certain things. The second way that I established credibility in that area was literally writing a book on it. I did that along with my brother, Dan Vlamis. We wrote a book on data visualization for Oracle Business Intelligence, and that helped. Having a book, being able to say you're an author of a book, gives you one, something to give out at conferences and be able to present that to people. And two, you can always say that you're an author of a book. And people respect that. They recognize there's a lot of work that goes into writing a book, and then being able to say you're an author and being able to point to presentations that you've given at various conferences establishes automatic credibility in a technical community. And so that's kind of how I made the jump from being an OLAP expert to really now an Oracle Analytics expert in the industry. The other thing I found, one of the challenges that I had I had been presenting for a while, and I also wanted to be able to grow my business. For a while, I had done the presentation thing, had been doing lots of consulting projects, but wanted to kind of challenge myself. And one of the areas was really in growing my business and becoming a manager, being able to reach out and be sales. And when you do that, when you're a salesperson, in effect, in addition to just being an individual contributor, people need to feel like people need to understand that you know your stuff. And being able to point to presentations that you've given, being an author of a book, being an Oracle ACE director in my case, was really helpful in being able to establish that credibility in the community and makes it so that you are an expert in this stuff, and that helps out. If people are thinking about whether they should be part of the ACE program, my reaction is a little bit of why not? There is no fee to join. You end up, you're going to do these presentations anyway, so you might as well be part of the ACE community, joined with another group of like-minded people, and allow them to get to know and get the recognition that you deserve in being a part of this community. If you're presenting, you might as well be part of the ACE community, and these people will help you in your professional career. And there's kind of this community aspect where people kind of help each other out. I sometimes work with other ACEs if I'm notified by somebody texting or email, and if they're saying they're an ACE, I know automatically that I can trust them a little bit with at least understanding the technical content, and there's a sense of community that we kind of watch out for each other and help each other out. And so that community aspect for me is a very important part of being part of the program.